Folks, today is day 43 of reading 10 comics a day until I've read every single DC comic. I'm Rhino Horn 7. I've been away for a week because I've been sick, but I'm back and I'm ready to talk about some freaking comics. I don't remember these ones real because I did read them a week ago when I planned to record the video, but I'm recording it now. Whiz Comics number 13. In this one, Dr. Sivana returns, right? He's been a villain in a lot of Shazam, Captain Marvel comics. Basically, he creates a chemical that when he uses it on a person, they turn into a baby. And it works. It works on adults. He uses it on an adult, and they turn into a baby. He uses it to steal money from banks, and he plans to use it to take over the country. He uses it on Billy, who is he's a child. Does he use it on Child Billy? I can't remember. I feel like he doesn't use it on Child Billy because I feel like Child Billy would disappear. No, he does use it on Child Billy, and Child Billy is stuck as a baby, but then finds a cure while Butia is, supposed to be guarding him. Gets the cure somehow. Shazams, right? He becomes Shazam. Or he says Shazam and he becomes Captain Marvel. And while Dr. Sivana has turned the entire army into babies. Dr. Sivana has turned the entire army into babies. Captain Marvel swoops in, calls the really old members of the army, like the old guard or something, uses the chemical on them so they become young men, because the chemical doesn't actually turn you into babies, it reverses the clock a certain amount, so using it on old people makes them like young men. So now, there's a bunch of, spry, young army men, and they fight off the Sivana army, and everything works out, and Captain Marvel, I think Sivana is finally arrested and taken to prison. I think this is the first time that's happened, which is awesome. We're finally dealing with him. And Captain Marvel saves the day and gives everyone the cure. Moving on. Should I talk about it? I enjoyed it. I really like this one. I really like a lot of comics today. Or that from this day. I really like all of them. A lot of them are fun. That's probably my favorite from the day. I think that's my favorite from the day. There's a lot of good ones. Moving on, we have Action Comics 34. Clark and Lois are sent to report on a mine. This girl, her father died, and she inherited the mine, and she's decided that she will not be selling it and will instead be running it by herself. So Clark and Lois are sent to investigate and figure out, what's going on. Why isn't she selling? How could she run this mine? Because she's a stupid little girl. She's not a stupid little girl. She's like a pretty smart, normal age woman. I don't know what normal age is, but she's like Lois's age, I'd say. So they investigate. Superman has to do some stuff, right? Clark has to turn to Superman to get on the premises. Lois kind of just isn't in most of the story. She gets there with Clark. Clark kind of goes off to do his, Superman stuff, and Lois just kind of stands there most of the time, and then we see her at the end of the comic where she's leaving. And we just kind of don't know what she's doing between those two events. So Superman does his stuff, right? He finds out that that the woman's uncle has a plot to kill her and take the mine for himself. Obviously, the uncle is stopped by Superman. The uncle tries to trap Superman and the girl in a container, like a big steel door shuts and whatever. He tries to trap them in an elevator, I think. But obviously, Superman breaks through the big steel door because he's Superman. This is I enjoyed this one a lot, actually, because there's some fun Superman stuff. He stops a minecart at one point. It's fun. It's a fun comic. This is the one problem I have with 1940 Superman. It doesn't make sense. Why does everyone keep underestimating him? They know. The Daily Planet has made so many stories about him this time. They know, and there's proof that they know. We've seen people recognize him before in previous issues. Why do people keep thinking, oh yeah, Superman can't break through steel. Oh yeah, Superman can't survive bullets. Why do you keep thinking that? You know he can do that. You know he's done it before. You know that. You should know that. But no, they keep thinking steel is gonna stop Superman. They keep thinking that. They keep thinking they can shoot him and it's gonna do anything. Why? Why are they all so stupid? Why are they all so dumb? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, moving on. I did really enjoy that one, despite my qualms. There are more qualms with Superman 1940s than the story itself. Moving on to Adventure Comics 60. Not much interesting, not much to talk about. All American. I got a little lightheaded there. I think it's from yelling while sick. All American Comics 24. Green Lantern. There's a guy He needs a job. He needs a job real bad. He gets a job. He's told to sign a piece of paper. Don't read it. Don't bother reading it. So he doesn't read it. He just signs the piece of paper. He gets a job now. He gets sent to this island. Turns out, not a job. He's going to be a slave. And the paper he signed says, oh, you have to be a slave for 2 months. Which doesn't... Well, you have to... Whatever. And they're like, if you try to leave, we'll kill you. So... this guy manages to escape and goes around trying to convince people of his story, but nobody believes him because the guy in charge, the guy he's accusing of doing this, is like a famous rich guy. Because we should always trust rich people, of course. We should always believe rich people would never do anything evil. Anyways, Alan Scott catches wind of this and obviously believes the guy, so he gets himself signed up for this island, this slave island. Becomes a slave for a bit, does some Green Lantern stuff, kills a couple guards, forces the sort of big kahuna boss guy to tattletale on the rich guy who's sort of setting all this up. So, not tattletale, testify in court. And then the big rich guy gets arrested. Oh yeah, Green Lantern should have gotten the whole case thrown out. Because when the big kahuna, that's what I'm calling him the big kahuna, when he's testifying against the rich guy, Green Lantern comes into the court and threatens him. Says, if you don't... Because the big kahuna originally, was going to testify. Then he started lying, right? Saying the rich guy had nothing to do with it. Then Green Lantern comes in and starts threatening him, saying, if you don't testify, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you if you don't tell the truth. So then the big kahuna tells the truth. But if you go in court and threaten the witness, that doesn't count. That the case will get thrown out. The testimony will get thrown out. Because now it's not real evidence. It's not admissible anymore. So nobody cares though. Nobody cares in this story for some reason. Even though legally, in the real world, that wouldn't work out. I think that wouldn't work out. But you know what? Whatever. What do I know? What do I know? Maybe things were different in the 1940s. Moving on. Batman number 5. We got some Joker shenanigans. Joker does some shit. I don't care. First appearance of the true Batmobile, right? Previously, it was referred to as the Batmobile a couple times, but it was just a red car. Now it actually looks like the Batmobile we know and love. The second story, there's a lot of text in this issue, by the way. Like, in 1940s comics in general, there's usually a lot of text. In this issue of Batman specifically, Batman number 5, there's so much text in all of the stories. All the stories, they all have it. They all have so much text. Especially this fairy tale one, though. Especially this fairy tale one. It's just an absurd amount of text. But Batman and Robin get sent into a fairy tale land by some scientist. Whatever. It's a pretty boring story. It feels like it should be interesting, but it's just not. It's not as fun as when they went to the giant and small land, the fourth dimension, right? That one was really fun. That one was really good. This is like that, but worse in pretty much every conceivable way. The final story is my favorite of this issue. Batman basically, he meets a guy who's being framed for a crime. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you clear your name. And he does that. He helps the man clear his name. There's also a really good moment in here where Robin almost dies. Batman believes Robin's gonna die, gets really mad. It's cool, sort of a death in the family moment, but in the 1940s and with Dick Grayson. And it's honestly really fun. I really enjoyed that. I really liked seeing that, how much he cares for Robin. It's not something we see often in these older issues, but it's nice to see. Captain Marvel Adventures number 1. The only important story in this book is Sivana creating Z, who is a robot, to combat Captain Marvel with equal strength to Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel obviously defeats it. Crack Comics number 11, there's nothing I want to talk about there. Detective Comics 49, Bruce and Portia almost break up. Portia is... almost break up. They do break up. Portia is Julie Madison, Bruce's fiance from the 1940s. She... after Clayface's first appearance, right, she got signed a movie deal, and now she's becoming famous. So her agent for some reason decided, okay, your name isn't good enough, so we're gonna call you Portia Storm or something like that. Portia Storm. I think that's the name. I'm not sure. I know her first name is Portia. I'm not sure about the last name. I think it's Storm. Basically, Portia's like, hey Bruce, you should get a job or something, and you should be more mature. Bruce is like, nah, I don't want to do that. Because I'm Batman, but she doesn't know I'm Batman. But I gotta do the rich idiot act. So Portia is like, okay, well, we're not gonna get married there. I'm calling off the engagement until you do better. and stop being such a bum. So Bruce is like, okay, whatever. And, you know, this is the return of Clayface. Clayface plans to kill Portia, aka Julie Madison, because she was the one that got away from his last appearance, right? He's escaped prison, or no, he was being transported to his prison, and he escaped. He does not manage to kill anyone. Batman and Robin do a pretty cool, like, trick to, to stop him from killing Julie. Like, Julie and Robin, like, switch costumes, kind of. It's cool. It's pretty cool. Fun issue. Moving on, Feature Comics 42. Never going to talk about a Feature Comics issue because they're the worst part of my day and they make me want to put a bullet in my mouth. Flash Comics 15. Flash Comics 15, we have some fun circus shenanigans. Not much going on, but, you know, it's a fun issue. Anyways, those are my 10 comics for today. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.